is going to be dedicated to just HTML and CSS. But I want to check in with you guys, right? What did you get from the pre-work? What is HTML? Kimberly, what is HTML? And why is it useful for us?
Hypertext markup language.
Beautiful, yeah. So it's an acronym for Hypertext Markup Language. So let's start there, right? We can dissect this a bit. Whoops. So that leads to the question is, what is hypertext and what is markup language? Can I switch this arrow? All right, so hypertext is a fancy sounding name for something pretty simple. Any guess there, David? What does hypertext mean in plain English?
It's text-based.
It's text-based, correct. What does it do though? Any ideas?
Displays information.
It does display information, that's correct. So it displays text, but what else? Redo? Any ideas? And correct me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong.
It displays like the structure of a site.
Structure of a site. Well, HTML all is concerning itself with kind of the structure, but hypertext specifically is a little different. Monica?
It refers to links.
Yeah, so these are just links. So text that you click on and it takes you to a new site. Yeah. So that's all hypertext is, right? So then we have markup language. So what do they mean by markup language? Jamie? Any guess there?
Sorry, my space bar wasn't working. Can you guys hear me clear?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, okay. Not too sure. I didn't go through the videos yet, the pre-work yet.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Pimpa, any ideas what we mean by markup language from the pre-work?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Open to the class. Any ideas what we mean by markup language?
Is it like designing text or styling text?
Yeah, it's how the text looks. So this is kind of bizarre, but HTML in general is just taking plain text and making it look better. That's like the original intention of HTML. And obviously now it's evolved into way more complexity. But still a majority is just how text looks. And why is that so important? Why can't we just use plain text to build our websites, right? So what would that look like if we didn't have HTML? So if I took all the text from Amazon and I open Notepad and I paste this in, this would be Amazon without HTML, right? So it wouldn't be the internet as we know it. It would be a very different place. I don't know. So I'm trying to give you guys the reason for why HTML is so important. It takes plain text. So let me write this somewhere actually. So HTML surrounds plain text with tags and gives it style or sometimes functionality. I think of it like, I have never heard this like specifically laid out anywhere, but I feel like there's two categories of tags, ones that have function and ones that are purely just style. So who can give me some tags that are functional, that have some kind of function, that aren't just about, do we have a hot mic from someone? Or does somebody have a question?
The H tags, the H1.
So is that functionality or just style?
Anchor tag.
Yeah, style, I guess.
Yeah. So here we have our H1 is just style. What else is just style or functionality?
The aref ones.
Yeah, our anchor tags. Oh, that's what I was going to do here. My mind knew, and then I forgot somehow. So that's what the link looks like. Unfortunately, they didn't use the word link. We have A for anchor tag, confusingly. Okay, some more. Was there some more tags that just care about the way things look or function?
P tags.
Yeah, P tags for sure. How about Ketzerin? What's a functional tag?
Is it LI and UL and LI is the functionally or style?
No, those are actually just the way it looks. I don't think there's a function there. Or not one I can think of. Yeah. Can you think of any tag that has a function? So it does an action.
Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Daniel. Yeah, sorry.
The iframe tag.
Yeah, iframe has a lot of functionality for sure. I don't use them too often, but yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Input.
Yes, input's a great one. So it's taking text from your client, and eventually it's storing a value, and it's doing a lot of different things.
A button tag for functionality.
Yeah. But a button, I don't think on its own does something really besides styling. I'm not 100% on that. That's kind of a gray area because it's used so dependently on submitting a form. But on its own, if you just make a button element, it actually has no functionality, I don't think. So I'm going to put it in the styling. But that was a good guess for sure.
Image
tag.
Image tag, yeah. That's a weird one, right?
Tag.
That image tag doesn't even concern itself with text. Here we're breaking all the rules. We're not just taking text and surrounding it with a tag and it looks different. We're like, displaying an image, which, yeah, so different. Any more? Any more?
Marquee tag.
One more time?
Marquee. In olden days, the text will go from left to right.
Oh, margin?
Marquee, MARQUEE.
QUE.
Yeah,
Marquee, like a marquee, like a scrolling.
I don't know. I've never used this one. Yeah. And you're saying that's style or functionality?
Functionality.
Okay. Let's look this one up, see what it does. Or what does it do, Sadiq?
It's used to move the text from left to right or right to left in the side.
Is there an example? This text will scroll from right to left. Yeah. Well, okay, here's the question though. Is this doing something or is this just changing the way text looks?
I'm not sure.
It's changing the way text looks dramatically, but I don't think it's actually doing anything. Just changing the way text looks. Anyway, this isn't a formal distinction. It's just one I think is useful. But those are good examples for sure.
What about a script tag?
Script tag is very functional, if I had to put it in a category. It has nothing to do with the way text looks. Yeah. Okay, so today the assignment My computer is lagging today. What are we doing today? So intro to HTML, and I'm asking you to make a fan website for your favorite movie, book, or video game. And at a minimum to use these tags. What I forgot to say here, but let me actually just do this right now. This is going to be important because we're at such different levels. So for advanced students, no use of CSS or JavaScript or really anything else. You're just using the HTML normal building blocks. Because there's no one here who hasn't exhausted their knowledge of HTML, right? It's like an infinite pool of complexity. Yeah, but I want us all to be on the same page. So yeah, any advanced students, you got to hold off on CSS or JavaScript.
Question, but can you use styles within HTML?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can use width and height because those aren't styles yet. Yeah. Thank you for your patience there so we can stay on the same page. Okay. So with that being said, together we're going to make a fan page. So I didn't give you guys, I told you guys my experience a bit, but I didn't give you guys any like personal details. Like hobbies, I do hot yoga every day. And I love like horror movies and books. So my fan page I'm going to build today with you guys. I read a book I really loved, Katie by Michael McDowell. So I'm going to build myself a fan page for this book. So what do I want it to look like, my fan page? I want Katie by Michael McDowell to be all big and titly. And then I haven't used this picture option in Excalibur, but let's try it together. Can I do this? Copy image, paste it? No. Let's try again. Save image as. And can I open this up? No. Pictures? No, I guess not.
I think you saved it in downloads or something.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Does that work? No. Okay, not super critical. You'll have to imagine that there's a picture right here, right? Image a book. And then what do I want? I want reasons I loved this book. Number 1, awesome villain with psychic powers and a hammer. 2, set in New York City in 1800s. 3, main character was likable. There's probably a better word than likable. So that's my fan page, right? For now. Maybe we'll add to it. That's what we're going to do right now. So, how do we make a website, right? And before we go to VS Code, which is where we're going to do all our coding, I want to keep things stupidly simple, right? And try to use Notepad. It's the only time I'm ever going to use Notepad. And I want to get Katie by Michael McDowell to show up. So, well, any ideas here? I'm going to save this and call this index.html. And when I open this with Chrome, so here, I'm going to go to my file explorer. Sorry, where did I save this one? Documents, yeah. So here's my file I just created, this blank index.html. And if I double click, it'll open it with Chrome. And right now it's totally empty. But what I want is for Katie by Michael Dowell to show up. How can I get it to show up? How can I start building our HTML website? Who were we at? Monica?
You just want to start with a header?
Yeah, sure.
So H1. And then I don't know what the title of the book was. Oh. And then you want to close the H1 tag.
Yes. Oh God! Yeah, without VS Code, I couldn't even remember where this goes. I think it's like that, right? This is why I'd never use Notepad. Anyway, let's try to save this and open it with Chrome. And now it worked. We have a big old heading, Katie by Michael McDowell, just like we wanted. And if I click inspect, we can look at the developer tools in Chrome. And click on, elements is actually what I wanted. And right here, you'll see it made all these other tags. So we have HTML, we have head, we have body. We'll talk about that in a second. But the important part is it has our H1 right here. So we have successfully already made a website. But we're not going to use Notepad, because VS Code does some amazing things to help us edit our HTML. So let's do the same thing, but in HTML. But first, let's break the nomenclature down a little bit here. So Monica helped us write this H1 tag, right? But I want to talk about that a little bit. So this whole thing is called an HTML element. But what is just this first part called? What is the nomenclature for that first?
It's a tag, HTML tag.
Yeah. Well, no, the whole thing is element. No, you're right. Yeah. It also is a tag, but specifically what kind of tag would we call this?
Header one?
No. So what I'm looking for is
Tag?
the opening tag, we would call this. And then likely this one is what, Jamie?
The closing.
Yeah. And then inside we have the child content, right? So this whole thing is what makes up a traditional HTML element. So here's our text, and here's how we decorate it to tell Chrome how we want it to look. And this is just, how we name things, nothing more. Okay, so let's switch to VS Code, right? I never open Notepad, I think, again in the entire course. So VS Code is going to enable us to, let me close some tabs, see if that's why my computer is running so slow. Am I plugged in? Yeah. Yeah, let me see if that helps at all. Okay, So I want to create this new website. I have a blank VS Code. What I recommend to you guys to do, I'm not going to micromanage where you keep your code. But for today, it probably wouldn't hurt if you go to open folder and wherever the directory you want to keep all your Hackmyhead code, you can make. I call mine code. And here I would just make a new folder called like day 1. And then I would open that up in VS Code. And now, how do we make a new file in VS Code? What do you think, Ketrin?
Click on that's one, and get the new file and put your name index.js.
Not JS, no.
Oh, HTML, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Now, do you remember how Google made the HTML parent tag, the head and the body? And we'll talk about that in a second. But instead of, that's going to be the structure. Let me copy this actually. Ooh, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. So this is really going to be the required structure for all your HTML pages. So you have this outer parent tag of HTML that contains everything. And then inside that, you have a head. And in the head, we describe this as containing the metadata for your website. You really won't have to change anything there except one field. There's one field we may use. Does anyone know what that field is? Or sorry, tag we're going to use.
Title.
Yeah, so the only one we're probably going to do is title, and we'll talk about that more in a second. And then really all our work is going to be in the body. This is what visually shows up in your HTML. But this would be annoying if we had to copy and paste this every time. So in VS Code, there's a shortcut. If we just start typing HTML and choose 5 for the newest version of HTML, we can get some boilerplate. So here, this is saying use the most current version of HTML. Or I guess more accurate to say we've used in our code, we've used the most current version. So Chrome, please be aware of that.
All right. I want to ask something, please.
Sure.
All right. For the assignment, like you've just given us the one assignment. Are we going to do that locally on our computers, or there is a live server online already where we are going to work?
You're going to, after lecture, you're going to be in a breakout room and you're going to build your own fan site.
All right. What I'm trying to say here is if I am going to build it locally on my computer, I mean the local host, whether it is going to be a local host on my computer like you are doing now, you create a folder and you create a file, or it is going to be on a live server on the internet already.
Well, live server is something we're going to talk about in a second, and we are going to use. But right now, we haven't touched live server yet. But so right now, we're just building it locally. This is just on your hard drive. But at the end of the day, we are going to deploy it. And deploying it means we're putting it in the cloud on someone else's computer that anyone can access in the world. So we're going to do all 3 things you hit.
I'm sorry. I think you have not understood me yet properly. What I'm trying to know is whether the assignments there, the one assignment, whether when I open it, it will direct me somewhere I can do my code already, or I have to code on my local folder I created.
You have to code on your local folder you're creating. There's no starter code. There's really no starter code in the entire course. It's all from scratch. Yeah.
All right. So.
Yep. The assignment is just going to look well, it's going to look like this. That's all you're getting. Yeah.
Could you do that portion where you auto completed the starter code for HTML again?
Yeah. So I type HTML and then I get these options and I choose HTML5 by pressing tab. So doc type HTML we talked about. A heads up to the browser, we're using the most current version. Oh, this is a different file, I think. So we'll close that. These two meta tags we get for free from when we did the shortcut. You'll never have to change them or really even worry about them. This just makes sure it looks good for our device. And this makes sure that all the characters, even if we use any language we use, it'll look good and encode correctly. Title is the only thing in head we actually care about. So actually, I need to open this in Chrome so I can see it, right? Or maybe before we do that, we should get our H1. So here I'm going to put back our H1 of Katie by Michael McDowell. And now I want to see this website that I built. So I think the easiest way right now is to reveal in File Explorer and then double click on it so Chrome opens it. And now I can see the website I'm building. The thing is, what if I realize I misspelled Michael McDowell's name? Where is he at? 2 L's. So I go to change it and I press save, but Chrome doesn't change, right? Why doesn't Chrome change? What do you think, Sadiq?
So it's because it's not live. You have to refresh it, I think.
Yeah, 100%. So we could click refresh here, but as you imagine, this gets annoying. If every change I make, I have to manually click refresh, right? So the extension I asked you guys to install, and if you didn't, you can install it now, is called Live Server. So you're all going to go ahead and install Live Server. You can do this actually now if you want, or this video will be instantly available to you after lecture, so you can do it then as well, or ask me for help, obviously. But I do want you to install Live Server. And then once that extension is installed, we right click on index.html and we say open with Live Server. And nothing happens because my computer is running so slow. But eventually, we get it here. Yeah. So now when we make changes, like I misspell it and then I spell it correctly, all I do is press save and it auto refreshes. So Live Server is really beautiful. And let's see that again by changing the title, right? So here I want the title to be Katie. And when I make that change, where will that show up on my browser here? If I change this to be Katie, and I haven't pressed save yet, so it's not going to do anything, where does it actually show up? Vanessa?
Show up on your tab.
Oh, one more time?
Yeah, it's going to be on the tab.
Yeah, so it'll show up right here. So I press save, and we see Katie now. Another extension that I'm requiring you guys to install, because it makes our lives so much easier and better. When I press save, what do you notice? What's happening to my code? It's formatting automatically, right? So this is an extension called Prettier. So you're going to install Live Server and you're going to install an extension called Prettier. Yeah. And then once you install that, unfortunately, it's not automatic. You have to go to Settings in VS Code. And you have to type Format. And you have to make sure this box is checked. Format on Save. Or it won't work. After you do that and you try to press save, you should see your code move and be properly formatted. On top of being formatted correctly, you know that you have no syntax errors if you see, well, if it moves into place and Prettier is working with this check mark, you know that your code, at least syntactically, has no errors, which is very nice. All right, questions on Live Server or Prettier? Those are the two things you need to install today. And I'll be here to help you the entire day if you get stuck. Because Mac users, how many Mac users do we have, by the way? Maybe half the class, which is normal. Or maybe a little more than usual. It might be slightly different. So for you, certainly if you get stuck, just let me know and we'll figure it out. But I am going to insist that you have both those extensions installed. There'll be a few more extensions in the future, but for right now, that's it. Question? Could have swore I heard somebody start. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
For the assignment, you don't care if the images are like copywritten or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, don't care at all. Oh, so let's continue building our website, right? So what do we have next? Speaking of images, right? So I have the image of the book. So I'm going to download this one to the folder here. Call it book cover.
Hi, sorry, can I interrupt a second?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah, apparently my microphone wasn't working before. Just where did you find the settings to activate that Prettier?
I think you can actually click this wheel and settings, or you can go to File, Preferences, Settings.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah. How many people got a second monitor? Second monitor. Oh, nice. Very beautiful. Try to order one from Amazon. They're like $80, right? They're not bad. And it'll make the course way better because you can see lecture and then be doing this concurrently if you want, or if that's too much, you do what works best for you, right? But I do think 2 monitors is great. A worthy investment. Okay, so I need an image to show up below here. Wait, did I not? Where's my code? Whoops. So I'm going to put it in the same folder that my HTML file is right now. And now I want it to show up. What tag do I want to use? What tag do I want to use first off? Vanessa? What tag do I want to use to get an image to show up?
The image tag?
Yeah. So in VS Code, which is why we're not using Notepad, right? This is so beautiful. If we just start typing the tag, we can press tab and it automatically writes it out for us. And here it's telling me not only do I need the tag, but I need something we call an attribute, which we'll talk about in a second. And the value, what do I have to put for the value to get my image to show up? And let me rename this so it's not impossible. What do you think goes in this source to get the image to show up? Mehdi, what do you think I need to put in that source attribute?
Hello. We have to put the file name, the name of the image.
Yeah, so what would I write right here?
Book point GPG.
Yeah, awesome. And then it shows up. This works the way it is, but also I like using // And does anyone know what // means?
It basically shows you the path where things are stored in your computer.
Yeah, current directory is what it means. Yeah. So let's break down this tag just a little bit because we have some new stuff. So, do we have an opening tag or a closing tag? What do you think, Nakito? Because we talked about an opening tag and a closing tag. Which one is this?
An empty tag.
Yeah, I tried to trick you, but there's no tricking you. Oh, you're not. Yeah, so this is going to be a void element. Empty tag, but void element, yeah. Or void tag. So it doesn't have a closing tag. It's just this one thing because it doesn't need text content because it's just an image. And then we have, well, what do we have here? What do we call this? You are? Any ideas from the pre-work?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, this we call attributes. So this is extra info for the element. And it does various things, but here it's obviously telling us what the source of the image, where it can be located. And the format we have is property equals value in string. So that's how they're all going to look. So here we have another attribute. How about in this code here? Does anyone see any other attributes? And what are their properties and values? Izzy?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So yeah, the attributes are what comes after the opening tag right here. And so do we have any more in our code besides the image tag, Daniel?
The meta tags have some attributes.
Yeah. So what is the property and value? So we have char set for the property and the value is UTF-8. So that'd be another example of attributes, right? Very good. Oh, and then like I said, / is for current directory. What is alt for? What is alt for, Daniel?
An alternate.
Oh, Mohammed, if I call on a student, then give them a chance to answer. Yeah, but I'll say opens the class if anyone can shout out. But Daniel, what's the alt mean?
Is that whenever like the image doesn't load for whatever reason?
Yeah, so if the image doesn't load, description of the image, or in what other scenario is an alt tag used?
Does it have something to do with accessibility?
Yeah, so accessibility for people vision impaired, to have the images described that they can't see. Yeah. And I think React will yell at you if you don't put them. Can't remember specifically. I've been talking a while though. What questions are there? Attributes, HTML, void elements, tags. This is going to be the fundamentals for everything.
How do you add the picture into that site explorer bit? Do you
Add
just
what?
drag it in? So like you've got book.jpg under Explorer. So how do you get that into?
Oh yeah, you could just drag in. It's probably the easiest. So I think I have like a thumbtack picture. So I can just drag that in, yeah. But in that case, I actually just saved it into the directory. So I went to here and I did save image as, and I found my directory. Yeah. Good question. Any other questions?
Yeah, Max. If you wanted to make your site responsive,
yeah,
how would I do that? Or is that something we're going to cover? Or
oh, that's CSS and media queries. So,
okay.
I don't know if we'll specifically cover media queries. We certainly will cover CSS starting tomorrow. Media queries, I'll probably touch on, but honestly, it's pretty hard. So it probably will be a bonus for your project this week. Yeah. Yeah, usually the responsive stuff I like doing as a bonus because it is really tough. It is really tough. But it is necessary. Kind of. I mean, traffic these days is like all mobile. All mobile. It's crazy. Because I use desktop, but not you guys, or not the world. Everybody's using mobile. It's like 99.9% of the traffic to actual sites I run are mobile. What else?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, could you illustrate for me how you could upload the website you're from developing? Like,
Yeah,
how
we're
you
going to
could
do that
submit-
at the end for deployment. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to upload it in a bit. I just want to make sure. Oh, we didn't cover everything, right? Because I wanted the last thing I'll show you. Where's my little drawing? Did I delete? I think we lost. Oh no, I'm dumb. It's right here. Yeah. Okay, so reasons I love this book. How do I get that tag to show up? Reasons I loved this book. How do you pronounce your name? Zoto? Zotu?
CO2.
Zo2.
Yeah, like carbon dioxide, CO2, but with a Z sound.
Zo2. Okay. Okay, that might take me a while, but I'll try.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right, Zo2. How do I do reasons I love this book to show up?
So I'm guessing you would put a paragraph tag in for the text, and then you would do like an unordered or an ordered list, depending on.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
wanted it.
So how do I get an ordered list to show up?
That's a OL tag.
Yep.
And then in between it, you're going to have list items, so LI.
Yeah, very nice. And then I can't remember what I said. Psycho with a hammer. And psychic powers. So press save, and yeah, we got that to show up. And I'm going to paste some more here because I said New York City setting. And what else? Cool main character. Yeah, so those are, some very basic tags. Oh, I guess one more tag I do want to do, which I didn't show here, but I would like to show. So you should buy it on Amazon, but the word Amazon is, how do I do this? I want to make that, nope. I want to make the word Amazon blue. Nope. All right, you guys will have to use your imaginations, I guess. Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, can I? No. Yeah. Anyway, you guys get the idea, right? So I want to say buy this book on Amazon with a link to actually, you click on it, it goes to Amazon. What do you think, Roman?
Sorry, repeat that, Mac.
Yeah, I want to say buy this book on Amazon, and the word Amazon is a clickable link that takes the user to Amazon.
You could do the link tag.
Yep.
Open bracket link.
Oh, the word link?
How come I forgot how to do this? Link tag I want. Oh, you could do href.
Okay.
And the Amazon link inside of, there.
So where do I put the link that I want them to go to?
Inside the quotation mark.
Yep. So the value for the href property.
And you could put inside the line over, right there, buy this book or.
But I don't want the whole. So let's do this and then come back to it.
Oh, right, because then it's gonna say
So let's see why this isn't exactly what I want. So now this whole link is clickable, which I don't really want. So how can I make just the word Amazon?
You could just say Amazon instead of.
Oh yeah, but I still do want to buy this book on, unfortunately. But that is right. Now we have buy this book or Amazon.
Do a p tag before that one and just say buy this book.
But now we have a problem. It's on different lines, which I don't want.
Could you put it in the same div? Or would it?
So you want me to make a div and put these two in there?
Yeah. Oh, it's still.
It's still gonna be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to get it in line.
Okay. Opens a class. Who can fix this bug for me? I don't know about bug, but who can fix this?
Delete div and put the crossing P after the A track.
Yeah, there we go. So I'll move this P. I'll put the A inside. And there we go. Buy this book on Amazon. Now I click on it, and something I don't like, it replaces the page I was on. I'd rather it go to a new site. So is there a special attribute I can use to do that?
Target blank.
Yeah, so we can use a property called target, and its IntelliSense is recommending blank. So now when I click on it, it goes to a new website. Yep. Okay, I think that covers everything I wanted to cover to get you guys through. Oh, deployment. I always forget, right? I told you I was going to. So this is available locally. I want you to be able to show your mom today what you built and just send her a link on your phone. So she can't access it on your local computer. We have to deploy it. So how do we deploy it? We go to Netlify. You need to create a username and password. I'm going to click on add new site, deploy manually. I'm going to find this folder on my hard drive. I called it day one, right? So I'm going to drag this I'm going to drag this folder into Netlify. And if everything went well, that's it. Yeah. And now this is the link that you'll submit for your assignment. So I'm changing it to student view. I thought. I'll do a new attempt to show you guys again, but all I do is paste that link from Netlify and then submit. And then how do we verify again? What do we do to verify? Farhan, what do we do? How do I verify that I submitted this correctly?
So you would see it right there, just like you got the submission for the student agreement. I guess you would also go to the where you
click
just
submission
scroll down.
details, and then I take this link and I paste it where?
You scroll down.
Oh, yeah, that's it though. That's all there is, just this link.
Oh, okay.
Where do I test this link that it worked?
Oh, you create an incognito and then paste it there and check.
Yeah. So this is what I'm actually going to see when I go to grade. And you're going to get a full point. Yeah. Questions on that?